YouTube, how we doing? Justin back here with Scov's Big Hits. I know we've been doing a lot more stuff on breaks and new card mail days, but I told a lot of people that I would get in a little bit more in depth on looking into investing and prospecting into baseball and just how I kind of go about it and how I try to make the most profit that I can. So just for this video, I know I could talk about it for hours and hours on end. I usually do get a chance to talk about prospecting and stuff on Deafness's channel. I do think we do it every Thursday now, and it's been really good. If you haven't gone and checked out Jeff's channel, Deafness45, definitely go do that. I go on there every week, so talk about stuff like this. So I kind of want to do it on my own here, just kind of give you guys a little bit of background, and then kind of what I look at for prospecting and kind of what I kind of look for. These are three basic ones. I obviously dig in a lot deeper with the MLB pipeline, kind of just the eye test for a guy who plays a little while. I mean, I've played enough where I kind of can see what I know is effective in making money and profit in the game. Obviously, you want to see the home runs and stuff like that. So I just came up with three things here, just basic ones, but might be new to some people and definitely will help you down the road for making money with cards here and prospecting specifically for baseball, because in other sports it's really hard to prospect because there's really no minor league for them. So first off, I always talk about being able to find a player that doesn't have to fight with anybody that's like a star in front of them. So what I kind of give an example is Alex Kirilloff for the Twins. Alex Kirilloff is a great player, probably should be in the bigs already. Even Trevor Larnach is pretty good too. He's an outfielder for the Twins, but they have three absolute studs out there and a stud DH. So there's really no place for them to go. Like Kirilloff could probably be in the league right now. He could come up this year and start in May, April and be ready to play. But you have Rosario, you have Kepler, you have Cruz at DH. I mean, and you have Buxton, who's a phenomenal outfielder. That's just three guys that you really can't not use. You know, so those guys are guys that need to be in the lineup. They obviously produce, and have been producing pretty well. Obviously, Kepler had a huge year last year. Rosario was a monster, and Cruz obviously hits his 40 home runs a year. So that's one thing I do try to look at, is being able to have a guy go out there and not have to worry about like an Acuna or worry about someone in front of him that's just so much better that he's not going to have a chance. So Luciano is kind of an example that I use for that. He's my high-end stuff. Obviously, it's a little bit more expensive, but with Luciano, he has to fight with what, Brandon Crawford at shortstop, and I mean, he could move to third base if they need him to with his arm. So he has a lot of opportunity to get there. Or get a chance to be in the league as early as possible because they might need him down the road. Tip 2 is kind of the team popularity and the team's ability to make the playoffs. Kind of being in the spotlight. So I relate this to like the Zion, John Morant type of feel to basketball. So like you're seeing Brandon Ingram cards rise, you're seeing Jaren Jackson card rise, Brandon Clark, just because they have guys that get them on TV and get them noticed. So when I think about this, I think about having a great team or a great system bring you up through there. So it's like the Padres, the Rays right now, and the Mariners. So for the Mariners, like I said, I have my Kelnick stuff here. Obviously a little bit more of a PC type of card, but just knowing that they'll be able to come in. They have, like I said, Logan Gilbert, they have Julio Rodriguez, they have Kelnick, Novelli Marte. They got a lot of studs, even Evan White's there, you know, like that's a lot of great young talent, which you could maybe see as like the Astros type of feel coming through the system, because they have that many stars coming through and making something happen. So it's a lot easier to get in the spotlight when you're able to win more games, because it's hard for Seattle to get a lot of press because they're out on the West Coast. But if you're winning consistently and they're getting into that playoff push, you can start seeing them maybe take over some of those Dodger games that are late night games and maybe get some more popularity, have a couple home runs, and there we go, profit comes in. Obviously it's very much performance based on the cards. That's why you try to get the bigger guys, but we all know price point is a big factor, so definitely try to target guys that have a great system around them as well. So like I said, the Padres, Mariners, even the White Sox are fantastic. They have a great young core. Definitely teams like that to target who have great guys coming through the system. And then third, One that I don't think a lot of people talk about, and I think is probably the most important, is knowing the prospect and knowing what you need from them to make a profit. So what I mean by that, so yeah, these two, I'm going to need them to play pretty well, move through the system pretty fast, because they're higher end, they're more expensive. So you need them to be kind of like an all-star type of level, or just shoot through the system and just destroy the minors, and then their cards just fly up. That's obviously like your Wander Francos, your Jason Dominguez that you're seeing now. You need them to be all-stars when they get up to the league. You need them to be there to keep that price point. You need them to perform. But then the stuff that people don't talk about is if you buy into like the lower guys. So I have my Tarangs. I got a ton of Tarangs. I got a ton of Varsho. You guys know I have a ton of these guys. But those guys, I just need them to make it to the league if I'm going to move them. Obviously, these ones are more PC, so I probably won't even move them anyway. But for like my other prospecting lower to mid-end tier guys, we just need to see them move through, make it to the league, make a little impact, and be a starter. You know, you don't need him to be hitting 35 home runs. You just need him to start producing and make it to the league, maybe be a nice role player, but still, you're not paying the top dollar that you're paying with the Jared Kelnicks and the Dominguez, the Wanders. You're not having to pay that type of price point, so you don't need them to. Obviously, you'd like them to go hit 30 bombs, and that would be great for the return. But in retrospect, you just need them to produce and maybe make it to the league, have a couple good years, be a starter, be a role guy, and you'll easily make your profit, and probably 3 or 4 times your profit. Or investment is what I meant. But yeah, so that's something that no one really talks about, is just knowing what that guy needs to do at the price point to be able to pay it off. It's kind of like your DFS. If you're going to throw Scherzer, which would be your Francos, you need him to go out there and get 10 strikeouts because his price point's super high. And then you have your Flyers down here that if they hit a home run, you're probably cashing in big. So kind of think about it that way if you play DFS or something like that, even for fantasy. Daily, any sort of daily fantasy. But yeah, that's kind of how I relate it to the card market for prospecting. So there's the 3 things, which is there anybody in front of them at that position that could keep them from making it into the league as early as they can? The team popularity, how good they are, can they compete, and then how's the system, like kind of how their system is, and then just know what is needed from that guy to make a profit and make the best investment that you can make. Like I said, guys, I'm trying to get a little bit more into this because this is pretty much what I do on my own. But I definitely would like to share it with you guys. This is something I love doing. And if you guys have any other questions for me, my Instagram and Twitter and all that will be in the bio below. Shoot me a DM. I'll definitely give you my advice on it and give you everything I can to make sure that we can make some money in this hobby and make sure this hobby keeps growing and we get some good people in here. So thank you guys for checking it out. Appreciate it. And you guys have a great rest of your day.